Alright, so I wanted to give you an idea of how to do one of these wireframes. So I'm going to mock up one for you here. A lot of you talked yesterday about the search feature, and I'm going to do a very simple one, a very simple search feature for you. And before I get going too much, I just want to say, I think what I'm going to do for grading purposes is I'm going to ask you to share yours with me, obviously, and if it's very similar to mine, I'm not going to give you all of the points. If you want to get all the points for this assignment, you're going to have to make something different than what I'm doing here. So you're going to be making at least 3 of these pages where you're going to show what it's going to look like when the changes to Maven occur, the changes that you want to happen. So some people said the search, some people said a calendar, some people said like a to-do list or messaging. So you're really going to have to look at Maven and figure out where those things are going to get added. The search feature is the easiest, and that's why I'm saying I'm not going to give you all of the points if you use that. The other ones are going to be a little bit more difficult. If you're doing a messaging, where is that going to show up? Is that going to be in one of those tabs in the middle by the to-do, notifications history? Is that going to be a messaging feature there? And if you hit that tab, what's that going to look like? How is that going to work? So I could very easily see this being kind of complicated in terms of maybe more than 3 of these, and I really do want to emphasize that you put as much effort into this as you can. I'm giving you a full day to do this in class. This is not something that I would expect that you should do in 10 minutes. Matter of fact, the video that you are watching right now took me 22 minutes to make, and I've compressed that down and sped that up so it's going 5 minutes and 43 seconds to do that. So what you just saw was the first page where I just put in where that search bar would go and what that would look like. And it's a pretty simple add to the Maven home screen. And then what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to go in and show what it will look like if you actually put in something into that search bar. Notice that I'm trying to keep this as neat as possible. I want it to at least look good, so when you share this with somebody, they get a general idea of what it is that you are looking for. And just remember this. This is not something that is just for you. This is something for somebody else. So you want them to not have a doubt in what you're trying to show them. You want them to look at it and go, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. So the more effort you put in, the better. Now, I don't want this to take longer than a class period for you. I want this to last, just roughly short of a class period. But at the same time, I want it to be detailed enough for someone to look at it and go, yeah, I understand what you're saying and how this would look. Okay, so keeping a lot of the features that you would see, you're going to have your Maven screen open so you can show those things. And then from there, you're going to have to detail what that's going to look like when you go to those pages. And you still need to keep some of those features the same. Notice that I'm putting up here the waffle. That waffle is in every screen that you would go to. There's also the hamburger on the other side that I'm going to do right now. Okay, so that looks very similar. Obviously, Scribe is the one that you guys are used to seeing. Maybe you're going to a new app that's messaging, and instead of it saying Scribe right there, it says messages or something. Or if it's the to-do, if you're in the to-do, you can click on notifications and see the difference of screens and see if that's something that you want to show. And let me explain that a little bit better. So if you click on notifications, it's going to take you to a different looking screen for the notifications or to the history. If you click on messages, what does that screen now look like? Does it look something similar to the history where it's going to completely change what you're looking at, or is it going to be kind of the same? So you're going to have features that are similar to what is already there. And like I said, it's pretty easy with the search bar, which is why I'm discouraging people to do that one. You can find other ways to find that information. And don't be afraid to go to Classroom like we did yesterday and look at how they have stuff set up. If you're going to do a calendar, how does Classroom have a calendar set up? How do they have certain things like their feed in there so that you can see those things? Notice that I'm putting on what a card looks like. So I'm not changing what's already there in Maven. I just added that search bar feature to it. I think you get a pretty general idea now of what is there, and hopefully the explanation kind of gives you an idea of what I'm expecting from you. So keep that in mind as you're going through. Remember, what I'm hoping to do with this is to share this with the owner of Maven and present him with these changes that you'd like to see and see where they would go with that. So if you're giving me something that's not with a lot of detail, then obviously we're not going to share that with him. Thanks for putting in your effort today, and looking forward to seeing these.